No, absolutely not. I think that's actually very, very dangerous. And one of the things that we're asked all the time is, when will this be over? And I'm looking at it more from a psychological standpoint. When people keep looking for a bottom, I think it's way too early. What I'm waiting patiently for is for people to throw these things in at any price whatsoever, real capitulation, and then we might take a look.
Chris, have the fundamentals got that much worse for some of these companies?
No, they've not. I mean, if you look at the last quarter's earnings report, we had a great quarter of earnings. Typically, you're going to see some sell the news off of the tail of that earnings report. The problem is, and Quint nailed it, I think he's looking over my shoulder at my playbook as well. You've got too much optimism in this market. Investors are looking for too much of an opportunity to buy. When you look at the VXN, the VIX, all these fear indices, they're well off of their February and March highs, which tells me that the market, we talk about the wall of worry, and stocks climb a wall of worry, and those are great rallies. We're sliding down a slope of hope here. And as Quint said, I'm just looking for everybody to be running for the streets and kind of have that moment, that panic moment. I think Jeff nailed it. This is too orderly, this decline right now. I'm waiting for a little bit of chaos here before we start buying.
Quint, I don't, necessarily disagree with those sentiments. If we're looking for that kind of moment when it's really going to crystallize that people have given up hope, but we don't necessarily always get that before the market stabilizes, do we? I mean, the market is down just 10% off a high. It's at levels we've been at not that long ago, higher than we were in February. Would you actually expect by now there to be more sheer panic out there?
Yeah, I would, for sure. But that speaks to the complacency. That's really what has me, and it seems like a common theme on this segment, very concerned, is I think we're oversold. Right here and now, we're oversold, and we probably see a bounce. It's going to be very seasonal. But I do believe that that's going to trap even more longs and people who are trying to buy into these things that are oversold. And ultimately, I think these go a lot lower. It has been ages since we've had a real, and I mean a real healthy correction where stocks get cheap. Not, cheap in relative to or relation to some other comparable or some other high-tech flying stock. I mean really cheap, and I think we have a long way to go until that happens.
Chris, just quickly, seasonality can sometimes be a boost into the end of the year. Can that save the tech stocks this year?
Right now, the trends are saying no. When you look at the channels, we're headed down lower. As Quint said, I hate to be copying or saying the same thing, but people are going to sell into any strength that we see here. There are a few stocks out there that I think are going to see some seasonal strength. They're the older tech. Forget about the FANG. Look at your Microsoft, your Cisco's. And remember, they pay dividends as well. So even with the interest rates kind of being wishy-washy here, I think old tech's going to be something that you want to look at before you start looking at the FANG stocks. Don't try to catch the falling knife on those. You'll lose an arm.